Even though it ended in a cornfield, John says the ending was better than any Hollywood script.
Hey guys, in case you were wondering, don't worry, Barrington's good luck charm, Lucky, is still on the bench for today.
I hope your bracket is less busted as mine, as two teams punched their tickets today to the national championship.
Said you've been dreaming about this, knew you could do it when you were a freshman and you were a sophomore. How does it feel to be able to do this together?
You could say swimming runs in Tyson's family. Every day when he comes to practice, he sees a familiar name hanging on the wall, a name that helped get him started in the pool. Bello out. That's right, Illini Nation sophomore point guard Andre Curbelo has entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, guys, first I want to start with Nazareth Academy, one of the top teams in the state this year, but one of the youngest as well on the stage.
And when he takes the mound this spring for the first time, it'll mark a major milestone. School girls wrestling has grown so much throughout the state in the past few years that it finally gets its first ever IHSA state tournament next year. Something that everybody here is looking forward to. Panthers win by a final score of 24-14 over Metamora. I'm joined with head coach Daryl Crouch. Coach, what was the keys to winning this game? Hard Sunday woes continue today. Last Sunday, Alex Reyes gave up a walk-off homer to the Pirates, and things went about the same today at the Brewers.
Welcome back. Quincy Notre Dame coach Eric Orn is coaching with a heavy heart. His mother died recently, and he had his mother's funeral yesterday. So instead of game prep, he was down in Ashland at her funeral.
Here at Fitness by Paula, people of all ages are welcome to come and play as if they were kids again on apparatuses like this one. Tonight is one of my favorite nights. That's right. Tonight, the NCAA Women's Basketball National Title Game. More than 300 golfers registered for this year's State Farm Youth Classic, bringing something that all participants say is what makes this tournament special: competition.
Welcome back. You hear us keep talking about the chemistry between Carmel's Jordan Wood and Grace Sullivan. Now that chemistry has been building for years. The two are actually play AAU and travel ball together. They're the dynamic duo for this Carmel team. I talked to them too. They said they're like sisters. They bicker all the time.
Finally in sports, it's time for Sarah P's Fast Five, where I bring you the 5 best things I saw this week. Number 5 is Peoria Christian. What hustle by Keaton Isawumi. He sprints for the ball, and he saves this one with the behind-the-back pass to Gavin Johnson for the bucket. Peoria High's Lerone Allen goes off the backboard to Peoria Richwood's Jeremiah Welch for the slam. This has to be the NBA dunk contest, right? Or at least the one we deserved. At number 3, this never gets old. The alley-oop slam by Ethan Kaiser, really living up to that Hair Jordan name. Peoria Christian is also at number 2. Wes Hunt gets the pass and takes it all the way home for the one-handed vicious throwdown. And at number 1, Normal Community Soccer, Addie Wyruch just bullies her defender. It's okay. That's how I used to play too. She sends it to Reese Anderson, who bends it like Beckham into the back of the net. What a shot.
And I'm here with our player of the game, Abby Schreck. An unbelievable game, just 1 assist away from a triple-double. Just what were you feeling today?
As you can see, there are no nets behind the dugouts here at Dozer Park for the 2021 season. But the Peoria Chiefs say there are plenty of places to catch the game.
And you said this team is your extension of your family. How special is it to get a state title with them?
It's everything. The relationships, these memories, these moments.
Jim, a big-time win here tonight for Normal Community over Normal West, 45-7 with the Ironmen on top. I'm here with Coach Jason Dringwitz. Coach, what were the keys to getting this win?
Playing college ball was a dream come true for Illinois State pitcher Trey Krause.
But when I finally started getting looks in high school, I just had to keep working and knew I was close and just so happy to go to the next level.
Krause got thrown right into off-season training with the Redbirds in 2019, and in a short period of time, he was pitching in the team's fall games.
I was ready for it. All my training had to pay off, and I was just ready for the moment.
The pieces were in place for a great freshman season.
We had him penciled in to be our number 2 starter that season going into 2020. And then we got a call one morning that, changed a lot of things for us and him.
That call came right before Krause's freshman season in 2020 after having pain in his right leg, a call that said he had cancer.
It's just like a feeling you're never ready for.
It's not in the coach's manual, that you're not prepared for that as a coach.
Krause was diagnosed with Ewing's sarcoma, a form of cancer that occurs in the bones and soft tissue around the bones.
There's a lot of things that go through your mind, a lot of serious stuff, a lot of things that obviously don't pan out happening. There's just a lot of emotions that go through your mind.
The big thought for Kraus, his baseball career.
Probably one of the first thoughts I had that was like, okay, no more baseball. Baseball probably should be the last thing you worry about, but yeah, that's where my mind went to.
Even having part of his femur removed, the treatment worked, and he entered remission in November 2020. Kraus was ultimately declared cancer-free, but the work didn't stop there. He still had a long way to get back to baseball.
Start in a wheelchair and you just keep building up slowly by slowly till you get your first steps, your first kind of jog, and then your first run, and then back on the mound.
Kraus rejoined his team in January last year and got to work.
The progression since then has been just as impressive. There was times that, I'm sure he doubted himself.
Getting back on the mound was probably the most important thing. It's obviously not an overnight thing, and that's kind of the hard part about it. It's just got to be that daily kind of like get after it and looking forward to something in the end.
And when he takes the mound this spring for the first time, it'll mark a major milestone.
I've been waiting for this since my freshman year. I'm dreaming about it for a lot of times, a lot of nights, just hoping to be back for the season and to be part of the Redbirds.
I think it's a Disney movie waiting to happen. It's one of those that everything was taken away. I believe it was like a 45% chance of living is the number of what we looked up in the office that day when we were sitting there telling him to be back pitching. I mean, it's just kind of unheard of.
Reporting in Normal for 25 News, I'm Sara Palczewski. Girl wrestling used to be a rare sight, but not anymore.
They started only a couple years ago allowing girls to wrestle. And like my school tournaments, there wouldn't be a lot of girls, maybe like one, maybe two. But when I came here, it was like I didn't expect it to be this many people.
That's because high school girls wrestling is growing rapidly in Illinois. So much so that more than 160 girls competed in their own state tournament this week.
When I first started, there weren't many girls in tournaments, and now this is a huge tournament that I get to be a part of, and it's awesome.
High school girls wrestling has grown so much throughout the state in the past few years that it finally gets its first ever IHSA state tournament next year. Something that everybody here is looking forward to.
But I'm so glad that it finally got done, and it's awesome that it is.
And I can't wait to wrestle next year. I just feel like it's going to be so fun.
These girls are blazing a trail and are showing the next generation they can do anything they want to.
A lot of people look down on girls for doing certain things, like things that boys normally do. They don't see it appropriate or they don't seem it possible, but I'm proof that it's possible.
Sara Palczewski, 25 Sports.
Racing dirt bikes is just a dream for many kids, but for a Pekin 12-year-old, it's a reality, and he's already making a name for himself on the national motocross stage.
Earlier this year, Logan Webb qualified for the Amateur National Motocross Championship at Loretta Lynn's in Tennessee.
Felt like it was just normal. It felt pretty good.
He's one of 42 kids in the country who qualified in his division, and the only one from Illinois to race in that division.
We're just happy that he's part of that group.
What makes Logan's national title run even more impressive, he only started racing 2 years ago.
I had fun riding around the house, and I didn't really know what it was like because we only really rode in the woods, and I wanted to try it.
After begging, then 10-year-old Logan wore his parents down to let him try motocross.
Logan asked us to race for years, and we just kept saying, try baseball, try basketball, and finally he was begging, so he started racing.
Logan quickly fell in love with the sport.
And when he started racing, he knew that that was the sport he wanted to pursue.
The Pekin native has since fully thrown himself into motocross, practicing 3 to 4 days a week for several hours at a time, prompting his parents to build a track for him at home.
There aren't really any tracks near our house. They're all like an hour and a half to 2.5 hours away. So.
It gives us an opportunity to practice a little more at home.
As Logan prepares to go to his first nationals, he's all about enjoying the ride.
I think the best part for me is just having fun.